and a gain of 1. 3rd and 9 here. The Tigers, they have struggled on 3rd down, allowing 4 of their last 5 to that Viking offense.
2 of those were actually by penalties, so can't completely blame them for that.
Yeah, that was the 4th penalty for 45 yards here in only 17 minutes of action here for the Riverside Tigers. 3rd down and 8, a 4-wide set. Daquan Blankton, who is going to USC, Daquan Hampton, with 2 catches today, looking for a 3rd. 1-on-1 against Ray Ford. They're going that way, floats it inside the 5, incomplete, tipped away at the last moment by the sophomore Ford. Now make it an interception and 2 pass deflections for a very, very solid up-and-coming player, 5'10", Ray Ford out of Texas.
Perfectly technically sound play right there. Ford looking back and just poking the ball away. Nothing fancy about it, but perfectly technically sound.
Well, into the game to kick the very long field goal would be his longest make of the season, Alfredo Morris, the sophomore, in for a 46-yard field goal try from near the right hash. Snap by Willis, ball down, kick on the way, drifting, and it's no good. Pushed it to the left-hand side. The Vikings travel from inside their own 30. It was a 50-yard march, and it stalls. The field goal's no good, and that trip is empty. The Tigers take over here with 10:22 to go, trailing by a point.
A little too much to ask from your kicker right there. Just a little too much distance for that one.
Yeah, this is now a kicker that has missed 3 of his last 4 field goals. A man who has struggled. Again, 2 of those kicks last week were blocked against that loss with Chaffey College. And, boy, in a game where that was decided by 4 points, could you imagine what those 2 field goals would have done for you? Alfred Morris has struggled this season, make it 5 of 9 on kicks this year. 10:22 to go, Tigers trail. Pass to the near side, caught by Foster. Reception number 4 by him, and he'll crawl his way, diving out of bounds at the 35. And, boy, I'd make a case that Foster wants it just as much as any, a win, and you clinch the National Central Conference Championship.
That's so true, and right there, that's already the 3rd time I saw that. They bring Denzel Foster in motion, and all he does is just turn around and wait for Nick King to go through all his options, and if nobody's there, well, you're going to Denzel Foster.
Yeah, well, that play didn't even matter anyways, as it was a 10-yard penalty here for the Tigers, make it 1st down and 20 from their own 19-yard line. The 1st down make is all the way to the 39 of the Tigers. Play action fake, King looking left. Hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Going to Isaac Whitney. Now make it one of his last 13 targets here for Isaac Whitney. He has been, for a guy that very heralded in that offense, has been, frankly, unreliable.
Well, for now, I think they've got to run the perfect route for him or give him other options. It seems like they keep going to a quick slants for him.
And it just hasn't worked, and they continue to go to the well. 2nd down and 20 from their own 19-yard line. Safety creeps up to the line. Vikings tight to these receivers. King going deep, but out of bounds, going Whitney's way. No fault by the receiver that time. Whitney, 10 scholarship offers for the Central Oklahoma University bounce back. The last offer was from USC, but Dan, boy, I'm sure the Trojans are. I know they're not probably regretting that decision, but
no, not at all. It's only been 3 games where he's struggled.
You have to think that Isaac Whitney, for one of the first time, this much notoriety and this much pressure, being literally the only reliable target in that offense, and he has frankly shriveled up under pressure.
Well, they look at him and they see great size, 6'4", 205. That sounds like a wide receiver.
Play action fake. King looking left. Pass rush coming, and down he goes. Sacked by Matthew Rowe. That'll be the sophomore's 3rd, and that'll be a 3-and-out by the Tigers.
A very rare occasion right there. Last week, no sacks for RCC. This week, already 1.
Yeah, this is Nicholas King, oh so elusive. He's only been sacked 3 times during his 5 starts for the Riverside City College Tigers. Not the same case. 3 sacks in 5 games. Meanwhile, Helinski was sacked 4 times, and that lost to Grossmont College. A far different quarterback, but the Vikings got the better of him there. Cameron White dives for the football, and he got it at the 47-yard line of the Vikings. 7-6, Long Beach City College, following the missed field goal, has another shot to do it yet again. 9:16 to go.
going back to that sack that Nicholas King took, I feel like he is being challenged by Coach Tom Kraft. They want him to stay in that pocket right there. Totally. It seemed like he was oblivious to that rush right there. And here's my point.
Right.
Tom Kraft, he's an offensive guru, an offensive innovator, right. And I think he's trying to develop Nicholas King into that type of quarterback that every team's going to want at the D1 level.
Yeah, this is a team that sent last year's Skylar Howard, who next year is the penciled-in starter for West Virginia University, who was battling it out against TCU today. I wonder if they did win. We'll get an update on that. TCU, the number 7 ranked team in the country, and they were neck and neck with them. Actually, I'm very curious to check in on that. But Riverside has had a very, very illustrious career when it comes to quarterbacks. There have been a number of D1 quarterbacks that have gone to Riverside City College during the extremely recent tenure of Tom Kraft, the winningest coach in the JUCO world over the last 10 years. Here go the Vikings on a 2nd down and 7 right at midfield. Kenny Potter has been relatively efficient passing the football today. Her handoff goes to a play-action fake. Potter zings it out near side. It's nearly caught off a rebound by Josiah Blanded. Incomplete. Make it 3rd and 7.
Trayshawn Braun right there with that play right there. Nothing fancy about it. All they do is use their hands. Just poke the ball away.
Doesn't look pretty, but now it's Trayshawn Broughton who gets into the act. That'll be the 3rd pass deflection by those 2 defensive backs today. They have been amazing. West Virginia, Skylar Howard is going to be a member of that ball club as a starter next year, as their senior will move on. But the Mountaineers will have to wait one more week for another win. The number 20 ranked team in the country, they fall 31-30. To number 10 ranked TCU. How about that game?
Must have gone down to a field goal or down to the wire.
All right, that definitely was somewhat disappointing for a Mountaineer team looking to pull off the upset. TCU was heavily favored in that matchup to go along with Long Beach City College, despite RCC being ranked number 1. The Vikings they impose a much better offense statistically and a defense that has been lethal so far this year. Potter looking left, in trouble, floats, hit as he throws, and it's intercepted. No, incomplete off the last moment by Trayshawn Broughton. He did have it in his hands, but boy, would you have loved if you're Broughton to hang on to your 6th pick this season.
I don't know what Long Beach saw in the tape for last week's game, but Trayshawn Broughton's not the guy you want to test.
Not the guy. Boy, I don't think he read the scouting report. Kenny Potter, 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions here in just his 5th game as a starter. He started 4 and completed 58% of his passes only. We talk about the struggles of Nicholas King. His statistics are quite a bit better than the ones of Kenny Potter, who many people are raving about, as Tramell Davis will let that one hop inside the 5-4-3, and it bounces out of bounds at the 1-foot line. Matters go from bad to worse for the Tigers.
This is going to be one heck of a situation right here. You're pretty much at the 2-inch line.
Yeah, you're staring at the shadows of your own goalpost. Any shadows that are remaining from what was a very, very phenomenal Vikings punt. Josh Thomas, the sophomore, puts the Tigers back inside their own 20. He had 2 kicks inside the red zone on the season, and 2 so far. The Tigers have not won the field position battle tonight, despite only a 1-point deficit. 8:18 to go. This would be their longest drive of the season if they're able to pull out the stuff of champions. Here, the play clock is down to 9. Tigers operate from the 1-foot line. Handoff goes to Foster and busts through to the 5 and dives forward to the 10. A nice carry there and near a Tiger first.
Power football right there. Old school running. Just straight down the middle. Give it to your running back and let the big boys up front work.
Give it your 5'10", 210-pound sophomore, Denzel Foster out of JW North. 2nd and short, King will take it now. He's into the act across the 15, and he'll dive ahead to the 20. A nice little copy from the script of Denzel Foster, a 10-yard gash, moved the chains.
That was design right there, a quarterback draw. Nicholas King did a great job of selling it right there, looking to his left as if he were passing and just diving right ahead.
Nicholas King, 76 yards rushing last week in their win against Mount Sac, and he'll look to continue that success. King in the first quarter had 2 yards rushing only, but he adds that statistic obviously with a 10-yard scamper. 1st and 10 from their own 20. Handoff on the delayed. Foster with a head of steam out to the 24-yard line. Foster his 9th carry today, and it gets the Tigers into much more comfortable territory, Dan.
3 straight runs, 3 straight great runs.
Seriously, 3 runs for 23 yards. I'll take that any day of the week. 7:09 to go. Vikings lead 7-6. A 3-wide set. Again, thank you all for joining us on livestream.com to go along with the national sports radio station. Denzel Foster has room outside 35. Picks up a block, but not another as Joshua Savage struggled to get his running back any sort of time to run off of that block, but he does move the chains. It'll be a gash for 14 yards. J.W. North transfer Denzel Foster moved his chains.
Big play right there by
he's
Denzel
down.
Foster.
Yeah.
But the issue right there was poor substituting by Long Beach City right there. They were coming in late, and so they snapped the ball, and there you go. You got yourself a big gain right there. But hopefully Denzel Foster will be all right.
Yeah, you do get yourself a big injury. 5 carries for 41 yards on that drive alone for Denzel Foster. And it'll be another 1st down and 10. 3 times the Tigers have moved the chains on this drive alone, and into the game is Christopher Anderson.
Hey, he's not bad at all. I mean, he's averaging 5.7 a pop compared to Denzel Foster's 6. Not much of a fall.
I'm actually been extremely surprised. Denzel Foster's been great, but Anderson as a freshman has been nearly just as good. Handoff his way across the 40, and the former West Valley High School product out to the 45 and a late flag. That'll be against, I'm sure, the Riverside Tigers.
Christopher Anderson right there getting his usual 5 yards right there.
But the Tigers giving up their usual 15. It's been a very chippy season here for Riverside. Not to mention 3 weeks ago in their win over Fullerton College, there was not 1 but 2 brawls at midfield. Brock Carmen the first, and the second, I'm sure, was against a number of other guys who have seen the bench. Maybe Matthew Morin, who, again, speculation, but went to Fullerton last year, was part of that scruffle. Nevertheless, absolutely no excuse for the Tigers in this extracurricular, but against the Vikings this time, that'll be 3 personal fouls against the Vikings, 2 for the Tigers, but this time against LBCC. 6:07 to go, play action, zings it near side, caught. That'll be Michael Stallone across the 30, and he'll bully his way down to the 24-yard line. 13 catches for Michael Stallone since all the way back in week number 5.
Boy, he's already the top guy all of a sudden for this team.
Right.
Well over 200 yards of passing from him.
Yeah, he's only averaging 10, maybe not even that, only 8 yards a catch. But Michael Stallone, who only stands at 5'10", he has been potentially the biggest target here for the Tigers this year. Handoff goes to Anderson. Denzel Foster still out of the game as he was bullied hard on that hit late to the near side earlier on this drive. And Dan, a distant memory, but this march started from their own 1.
More like the 2-inch mark.
Really? Yeah, the Vikings were asking, they were pinning their ears back. The Tigers were asking for a safety, but
it's been the run game that's been
in
this drive at least.
Only 1 pass for Nicholas King. This will be his second. Floats it long to the end zone, going to Jermel Walker. Leaping grab, and he's got it for the touchdown.
Jermel Walker going up high, leading the team in yak, and right there he won't get any yards, but he'll get 6 points.
That was a 25-yard King to Jermel Walker touchdown connection. Count it. The extra point is pending, but the flag is as well. It'll be declined and a touchdown. Pass interference against the Vikings as Jermel Walker strictly beat his man. That was Christian Wu, the freshman, 101 on coverage. But Jermel Walker, boy, is he an interesting product. Just a freshman and now becoming the go-to target on that drive.
Already this season, 14 receptions, 2 touchdowns. That was the second of the year for him.
Extra point is good. 13-7. The Tigers on top. Where in the world was this offense last week? The Tigers score a passing score for the first time since 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
It's been nearly a half month since Riverside has a passing score. It's been a while.
Well, with a running game like they have, I mean,
why not?
Why not? I mean, just keep giving the ball to Denzel Foster, which they did in this drive, and then Christopher Anderson aids them with a little bit here and there, and